Welcome back to The Ambassadors. I'm thrilled to dive into today's topic with you. Let's get right into it.
Have you ever stopped to wonder how a short daily message can end up building a massive global community? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We're going to pull back the curtain on a daily devotional, not to talk theology, but to look at its strategy, to see it as a piece of modern communication. Let's break down how it all works. Okay, so every devotional like this has to start somewhere, right? It needs a foundation. And this is it. This verse from 1 Peter isn't just a nice opening line, it's the bedrock for everything that's about to follow. It introduces the absolute core concept we're going to be exploring, this thing called a lively hope tied directly to the resurrection. This one sentence literally sets the stage for the entire message. All right, so with that biblical groundwork in place, the devotional starts building its main argument. In this first part of our breakdown, we're going to see exactly how it establishes the core message it wants to get across to you, the reader. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The devotional doesn't just say hope, it gives it a very specific name, lively hope. And look at how they define it. It's presented almost like a transaction. Because Jesus triumphed over death, a believer's life, victory, and blessings are secured. The key thing here is that this hope isn't framed as just a wish. It's sold as a guaranteed outcome. It's a solid promise. And building on that promise, the devotional makes another critical point. This lively hope isn't some passive feeling you just sit around and wait for. No. The source material is super clear. It's an active force. It's meant to actually empower people to live differently, to be bold, to go after a specific purpose. This one idea is what turns hope from an abstract feeling into a practical, everyday tool. So let's say you accept this idea of an active, lively hope. What happens next? Well, according to the devotional, it should fundamentally change your entire outlook on life. Let's dig into the intended impact this message is supposed to have on a person's perspective. And here we see a really powerful persuasive technique in action. Just look at this comparison. On one side, you have all the relatable, day-to-day struggles, personal challenges, problems at work, you name it. But on the other side, you have these huge spiritual promises. The whole goal is to trigger a mental shift. It's asking the reader to reframe their immediate problems in the context of this bigger, eternal reality, which, of course, makes today's struggles seem a whole lot smaller. You know, this shift in thinking isn't just about feeling better in the moment. It's meant to produce real, tangible results. The devotional lays out a super clear list of outcomes. It's basically saying, adopt this viewpoint and you'll develop optimism, you'll get perseverance, you'll become more resilient, and you'll even find joy when things are tough. It's like a spiritual roadmap from a single belief to actual character development. Okay, so we've got the core idea and we know what it's supposed to do. But how does a reader actually make it happen? This is where the devotional pivots from these big, abstract concepts to really concrete, personal actions. And it kicks off with a really direct question. This is a classic communication tactic, right? It forces you to do a little self-assessment. By framing it as this either-or choice, fear versus assurance, it pushes you to make an immediate internal decision, nudging you toward the one you obviously want more, assurance. Then, right after that soul-searching question, it gives you a super clear two-step call to action. It's simple, and it's something you can do right now. First, you declare. You say it, you affirm it. Second, you commit. You make a decision about how you're going to live from this moment on. See that progression? It moves you from an internal thought to an external action. And to make that commitment as easy as humanly possible, they literally provide a script. This pre-written prayer takes out all the guesswork. The reader doesn't have to figure out what to say. The perfect words are right there. This is such a key part of the design. It lowers any barrier to actually doing it, making the whole thing seamless and immediate. Now, what happens right after this personal moment is honestly fascinating. The focus suddenly zooms way out. It shifts dramatically from one person's inner spiritual state to a much bigger global organization. Let's take a look at the framework this whole personal message funnels you into. And this right here is the pivot. We go straight from that quiet personal prayer right into the name of a massive, specific mission with a huge quantifiable goal. The personal experience of finding hope is now explicitly connected to a collective effort. It frames your personal journey as just one part of something so much bigger. And if you want to join that mission, they make it incredibly clear how you can. The source offers 3 very distinct levels of involvement. You can be a prayer partner, which is a commitment of your time. You can be a volunteer missionary, which is a commitment of service. Or you can be a kingdom investor, which is a financial commitment. It gives everyone an entry point no matter what they have to offer. So once a person shows they're interested, the next move is all about integration. They don't just ask for your support and then leave you hanging. They actively funnel people into this wide network of digital communities, all designed to make you feel like you belong and keep you connected. And I mean, just look at the scope of this digital footprint. This is a thoroughly modern way to build a community. You've got everything from direct messaging on WhatsApp and Telegram to huge social platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. This multi-platform strategy means they can reach you and engage with you wherever you happen to be online. This slide really just drives home the global scale we're talking about. By coordinating prayer times all across the world, from Nigeria to the US, from India to the Philippines, it creates this powerful sense of a unified 24/7 global movement. Someone praying in Canada knows that just a few hours later, someone in South Africa will be doing the same thing. It makes you feel like you're part of something absolutely massive and always active. So we've basically traced the entire playbook, haven't we? We went from a single verse of scripture to this core idea of lively hope to a personal call to action and then finally into this huge structured global organization. It all brings us back to that central question. What does this anatomy show us about how a single, well-designed message can connect a person's private belief to a worldwide mission? Really makes you think.